The classic Brawl Pass that we once knew had a total of 21 seasons, all of which had their fair share of ups and downs. So here is the best and worst thing that happened in all of them. And so, in Season 1, the Brawl Pass came about. The best thing about this season is simply the brand new track of all sorts of rewards players can now claim just by existing or doing quests. The worst thing though would be the fact that there was only 60 tiers that we would be progressing through, but we wouldn't realize that we're at a loss until long after the season was over. The best thing about Season 2 would then be more rewards. After becoming more familiar with this Brawl Pass, we now get an additional 10 tiers added to the season, so it feels more fulfilling even if it didn't necessarily increase our progression. The worst thing though would end up being this unique new weekend game mode they gave us called Super City Rampage. I don't really know how to describe the objective, but like, everyone hated it. Next up we had Season 3, and the best part about this season is, well, this.
We are also getting a Starr Park team tutorial so we can welcome new players to the Starr Park.
This was the beginning of what would become a series of very interesting content that we would know as the Starr Park lore. This would later be picked up by a lot of content creators such as Ray and Michael, and the community as a whole would do as much as possible to figure out what is going on. The worst thing is just Colette. Upon her release, she couldn't break anything, not even a porter, with her regular attack. It was bad. A bit later came Season 4, and the best part about this season is that this was the time that we would all begin to see the map maker that we have today, which was a lot more developed and now had maps that you could actually submit to be the winning map of the day. This allowed players' creativity to thrive, as they would now have the ability to let the whole world see the maps that they made. The worst part about Season 4 was the Edgar Apocalypse. Edgar was released on December 19th of 2020, and he was free to claim to everyone, the whole world, all at once. To no surprise, he immediately found his permanent purpose in showdowns, especially solos, where tons of players would be playing Edgar at the same time, and he was just everywhere. It was awful. The best part about Season 5 was not doing this.
Uh-oh, it seems we got a replacement.
It seems that the new Brawler kit has been replaced by
They spared us for quite a while, luckily. The worst part of Season 5 would then be the release of Stu. Why was it so bad, you may ask? Well, he was literally released with knockback. That meant that if you were Frank, then you were gonna have a bad time. He would knock you back and forth all day, and he made it really hard to land an attack depending on who you were. The best thing they did during Season 6 was making Knockout permanent. In the June 16th of 2021 update, Knockout was ruled as super awesome and made a permanent game mode. However though, it was that season that the one and only Ryan told us that his time with Brawl Stars was coming to an abrupt end, and that would be the final Brawl Talk that Ryan would be the star of. But luckily for him, he's off to bigger and better. Season 7 came next, and it was an amazing season. It was the first full season with Knockout as a full-time mode. It had a very balanced chromatic, and the game started seeing amazing new changes. The best feature? The bad randoms. This introduced a musical piece that was available outside of Brawl Stars itself, and you'd see musical releases on platforms like YouTube and even Spotify. The worst thing? Bad randoms. This season was so amazing that the worst thing I could think of was the actual players, or just some of them. Here's some 2021 footage of a bad random named Goblin. Season 8 welcomed us with Ash, as well as rewards for all tiers of the Brawl Pass. We would finally see a day where there was a beautiful clan box for every tier we progressed to during that season. Pretty cool, right? Season 8 was also our time to prepare for the new club feature that was on its way, and it was during that season that players were instructed to shorten their club length to 30 players from the original 100 in order to fit an upcoming update. Season 9 came with a lovely new boost to progression when the November of 2021 update gave us Club League. You could now do a few matches every week to give your club a rank and unlock these lovely new club coins that could be used to redeem all sorts of rewards. This made upgrading brawlers much easier. Season 9 also gave us gears. Sure, they're okay now, but back at their origin, gears were hated by a lot of the community. They were a great idea, but unfortunately delivered very poorly, and the Brawl Stars community made sure that the devs knew that. Season 10 came along next with Fang, who everyone loved. Surely enough, Fang was the best thing that was brought to us by Season 10. He's only a little bit extremely broken now, but that doesn't stop the community from playing and loving Fang. This season was wonderful with a great environment, but unfortunately it was a lot shorter. The worst thing about Season 10 was, of course, its short duration, but that was done in order to set the remainder of Brawl Pass seasons to have a continuous 2-month period, and Season 10 just had to make a little sacrifice for that to be possible. Season 11 was pretty bland, but it did bring us a Power League rework in April that would hopefully make competitive Brawl Stars an easier experience for users, which was probably the best thing that the whole season had. As for the worst though, Bot Drop became a game mode in the same update, and it was not a good, legitimate game mode to play if you wanted to make some real trophies, and I don't think it was liked by that many people. Season 12 was the stunt show, and in the late June update, we saw the first of Club Quests. Club Quest was the second half of Club League that would be a lot more easy and pleasant for casual players, and it was still nearly as rewarding as Club League itself. Season 12 also introduced us to Hunters, though, which was discussed in the pre-Season 13 Brawl Talk and introduced to us at the end of Season 12 itself. We would then be stuck with it as a game mode for the entire next season. Next up, we have what is perhaps the most disliked season of all time. Season 13 didn't really have anything too unique to be added, and honestly the best things about the season were A, the theme, and B, the end. The theme was so nice to look at and it had some pretty great music, but that's pretty much all players had to look forward to in the season, and as you can imagine, that's not very good. Sorry, Otis. The worst thing about Season 3, and this is just solely my opinion, was the permanent removal of Siege. Even though it did come back, at the time there was no foresight of such an occasion, as it was deleted from Map Maker from there on out, only existing as a memory. This removal did look permanent, but either way it was done so to prepare the game for the Robot Factory season. Season 14 then came about, and it held one of the most popular changes to the game's functionality, the gear rework. In this October 2022 update, they finally reworked gears as a whole, which I think just about everyone loved. This gave us a large sum of coins, which enabled us to do a lot of spending on the most essential part of the game, buying true gold skins. I'm kidding, I really hope you spent these on upgrades. The worst thing Season 14 brought us would honestly just be the new button that allowed players to buy gadgets and star powers with coins. Why was that bad? The feature wasn't bad, it was amazing, but as you can imagine, it was done as a prep for the removal of Brawl Boxes. The best thing brought about by Season 15 is fame. Wait, it's not fame? Okay, everyone, the best thing about Season 15 was the Starr Road. This gave us 2 new currencies that would surely be part of the game for a long time, since they're brand new, and they allowed players to have a bit more of a selection as to who they wanted to unlock next. You could also save credits instead of boxes, which guaranteed the unlock of the newest brawler on the first day of their release. Any extra credits would go to fame! Look how valuable this little planet image is. The worst thing would of course be the removal of boxes. The once beloved feature with an occasional glowy red one would be eliminated from the game, entirely removing the luck factor from it, all the way until Chester was released 0 days later. Everyone loved Brawl Boxes, but sadly that didn't stop them from just becoming a thing of the past. We then went into Season 16, and the best thing about that season would be Mastery. Mastery was brought to us in the February 2023 update that would prepare us for Season 17, and it gave players so much more purpose to play any brawler, rather than just for trophies or whatever else the game rewarded. You got new player cards and all sorts of other things that you could use to flex on other players, and let's face it, getting mastery on brawlers is honestly like the best thing ever. The worst thing that season brought us was, Ray cover your ears, Creature of the Night. I mean, come on, it's overused. Here's a speedrun of me trying to find a Creature of the Night title. Next we had Season 17, and it gave us Bling, because, well, it was released in April of 2023, and the update that would set us up for the Maisie season. Either way, Bling was yet another perfect feature for the free-to-play players, as it allowed them to actually be able to afford a few more skins with their limited resources, and possibly make their favorite brawler look just a bit better. However, this update had to reorder skin rarities, and with this move, the 49 gem skins were no longer 49 gems. But it's worth it, right? It was a necessary move to make something perfect. Season 18 came next, and it had an update that brought back something the Brawl Stars community had been craving: the luck factor. That's right, Star Drops came out in June. Feel old yet? This was towards the end of Season 18, but it allowed the season to finish off as a hero, once again allowing players to get lucky with things, even getting skins and cosmetics just by winning a match. Unfortunately though, since Season 18 was the first full season with Bling, we had a Bling reward replace the Tier 1 Brawl Pass sides reward that had once been a free skin. Even though it was a lot of Bling, Season 18 and all following seasons would not have a Tier 1 skin. Season 19 gave us Cordelius, and it also let us see something huge that was about to be added for the next season's chromatic and many other brawlers: Hypercharge. In early September of 2023, Hypercharge was added to a few brawlers as part of collector's packs, and we'd be able to see what this news feature is right before Season 20 began. That same update also doubled the effect of upgrading any brawler. This didn't have any fundamental changes to matches where everyone was maxed, but it still had some getting used to since everyone now has new numbers. Don't worry, it still turned out to be a great feature. Season 20 gave us Pearl and the first full season with Hypercharges, as well as Mega Pig. Although it wasn't played and experienced till a little bit later, it still existed and was in the game as of October 2023, which would fall under Season 20. I mean, what else did the season offer? But with the introduction of Mega Pig, this was the goodbye of Club League and all the selective upgradable stuff. Instead of getting to choose what your rewards are, they were now changed into completely random prizes, such as random profile pictures or sprays for brawlers you just don't use. Season 21 would be the final season of the classic Brawl Pass, and its best new feature, or at least what I like the most, is 5v5. No matter the mode, 5v5 has proven itself to be a very fun event to play and just the best thing Brawl Stars has given us since early November when Season 21 kicked off. The worst thing though is something that they allowed to occur 3 times: broken brawlers. First, they gave us the final chromatic, who was a broken Spider-Woman who was way too strong. Then they nerfed her and replaced her brokenness with a broken Monkey Brawler who was also way too strong. Then, instead of nerfing him, they added a broken Kitty Brawler who of course was way too broken. Also, the broken Kitty Brawler who's way too broken, he's not for the broke players. At least not yet. And anyways, my friends, there you have it. That is the entirety, I think, of the classic Brawl Pass seasons. Thank you very much for sticking to the end, and I will see you next time.